Welcome back, guys. So, for a couple of years, I had that evolution of an HVAC business podcast, and it was 2 years of one podcast per month. I started my business, how I'm evolving, different things, and it was a lot of it had to do with how to market your business too, how to market it, and how to use social media and website and SEO and all that kind of stuff. So, today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to a business owner himself, but on the digital side. Now, there's a website called property.com, and the CEO of property.com is Nick Fergis. And what property.com is, and I'm going to just give you a quick rundown on what it is. It's a site where they're bringing in homeowners. Now, on that site, they're allowing homeowners to find real estate agents and getting information about homes and properties. But the caveat to that is they're going to help them find contractors as well. So HVAC contractors being one of them. But it's only if you have a certain rating in Google or the other review platforms. 4-star plus. They don't want hacks or chucks in a truck. They want people that have solid star ratings, all right, to get on their platform. And they're going to help you broaden your horizon when it comes to that customer base. And there's actually a free portion of that. There's paid portions as well, but there's a free portion that comes with your own little mini website on their site that's separate to your website already that gives you a little bit more reach. So we're going to talk to Nick about property.com and how it can maybe help you reach more of a target audience or customer base. Now, there is a link, and we talk about the link during the podcast as well. It is McCreadie.property.com. So McCreadie is spelled MCCREADIE.property.com would be the link you would go to receive that free portion of the website or that free mini site or microsite that you're going to get out of it. So let's get to Nick right now. This is the HVAC Know-It-All podcast. I'm your host, Gary McCreadie. This podcast is sponsored by Cool Air Products, Master, Cintas, and SupplyHouse.com. Go to the show notes and click on the links to check these guys out. I had a podcast series called The Evolution of an HVAC Business. And that podcast series went for 2 years. New listeners, if you guys are on the verge of starting your own HVAC business, you can go back and listen to that. It started a couple of years back, and there's one episode per month. And Nick, the whole premise of that was to talk about my journey of starting a business from scratch, like a service install business from scratch, and letting the audience members know some of the things that I went through to get to that point and things I was doing to sort of evolve. That was the title, evolution, right? One of the things that helps an HVAC business evolve is exposure and marketing to potential customers. I mean, you want to retain your existing customers, but that customer retention may not be good enough for business growth and scaling and stuff like that. So you want to always be expanding out to a broader range of customers. Now, we're here to talk about property.com, and you're the CEO of property.com. You've been in the building of digital businesses for a while. That's your background. So just give us a brief rundown of what property.com is, if you don't mind.
Property.com, I started that because I saw a real need in the industry. As you know, I've got a background in home improvement and technology. And I realized that, just like you said, for contractors to really build their business, they need credibility, they need visibility, they need homeowners to see them, they need the homeowners to see their good work. And property.com, it's a national home listing site, but the purpose of it really is to be this full integrated platform where homeowners can find professionals, real estate agents, and contractors perform the services they need, on their homes. That's really the impetus for it, and it's enabling contractors to kind of get on there, get visibility, get a website, and be able to have homeowners find them and have them find homeowners and other people in the platform that they can build their businesses around.
I see it like this. I mean, I've been on the site. It looks super cool. What you're trying to do is attract homeowners onto the site that can find real estate agents, get information about property advice, contractors that can come repair things. So you're going to be collecting a whole bunch of different industries on that page. But this conversation right now is not about real estate agents or finding electricians or whatever. It's about finding HVAC professionals. The homeowners can
Mhm.
find them. So we're talking to
Yeah.
HVAC professionals today. We're not talking to homeowners like, hey, homeowners, get on the site. Yes, cool. But we're talking to HVAC professionals. So a few things that they can do with property.com. And guys, if you're on the verge of starting a business or you have a business, getting exposure is 100% needed to maintain your sort of business and to scale your business and to grow it. But here's the thing, you need that exposure. I've talked about on my evolution of the HVAC business, we can get on social media. We need a website with good SEO behind it, search engine optimization. There's word of mouth. There's all kinds of things that we can do within our community to get that outreach. What Nick is talking about is getting onto property.com. You got to be a good contractor. They're not accepting. This is an exclusive club, right, Nick? Exclusive club of contractors. It's not about 1-star contractors. It's not about chucking the truck. It's not about hacks. That's what I like about this platform. It's about contractors that have a certain star rating. So what minimum star rating are you looking for contractors to be able to join the platform?
Yeah, across the different social media platforms, we're looking for an average above 4 stars.
Okay, so you got to be 4 stars or above. So that means you're going to be vetted. So you can sign up. We have a link where you can sign up. We'll tell you the link now. What was the link that they can use through my podcast again, Nick?
If they go through McCreadie.property.com, then they'll actually be able to get a free web page underneath the property.com website, through your offering.
Okay, so McCreadie is MCCREADIE, McCreadie at property.com. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. So if you get on there, you're gonna have to fill out this form. It's got some fields on it, and the other thing that you're gonna once you submit that, you're going to be vetted by property.com to make sure that you're a contractor with a good star rating and you do quality work. So let's talk about the advantages and the benefits. You said if they go through that link, they're going to get a free microsite or mini site or on property.com. So this is not a site that takes over your original site or the site that you've made up for your business. This is additional to it, and it lives on property.com. So explain that, Nick, like this microsite or mini site or whatever you want to describe it as.
That's right, Gary. And the important part is we're selecting a number of contractors by classification and by industry to prop up and endorse as our certified property pros. So if you pass the vetting, you get a web page underneath property.com, and you get a certification and that you can use in your sales process. You can use, on your on your own website, on your social media profiles, however you want to use that. But it's a certification endorsement from from a strong brand. And the website itself, you'll have a web page we set on our property.com. So if you're a Totally Cool HVAC, that's the name of your company, then you'll Totally Cool HVAC.property.com will be your web page underneath property.com. And that's where, homeowners or other basically homeowners looking for contractors can find you there. There's a search engine, Quality Home Improvement Contractors, and that would bring up, we maintain that for you too. We automatically create that for you. We maintain it, and we drive property owners there, and it's designed to convert. It presents the best of you. It has dynamic data. It gets strong results on search engines where we're keeping your job data up there. We put promotions up there for you, your licenses and your certifications. Then we have some calls to actions that are designed to convert interested property owners to set up an appointment with you. We also have an AI chatbot on there that can help kind of that process.
Perfect. And there's some features that are interesting. Like the one feature, you can tell me what it's called and describe it for us, but it's a feature that existing contractors that are part of the exclusive club now can actually see past permits on that specific home's address, like whatever they've done and pulled a permit for, they can see those permits, they can see what they paid and stuff like that. That is something that lives on the property.com website for contractors to see, right?
Yeah, it is. And that's called Max Qualifier. And just to make it clear, so we are that website, and the website has multiple uses. It's a platform, but we also have a suite of products specifically for contractors. And we started it around HVAC contractors in particular. And it's called the Max Pro Connect Suite. You have several tools on there that are kind of full marketing funnel from driving traffic to you, to converting that traffic into leads, and to closing deals with it. And then one of the particular product within that suite that Gary's referring to is called the Max Qualifier. And Property.com is a deep data site, AI-based engines. And when a homeowner searches you, if they come in whether they come in through Property.com or whether they come in through any of your other kind of lead generation mechanisms, and you bring them into your CRM, we automatically route them through this Max Qualifier. And we apply a whole bunch of data to that. We look at all the property data. We look at their permitting history. We look at their energy usage. We look at their equity. We look at their kind of listing status. Maybe they've been listed on the market recently because we're a national brokerage site, so we have that data. We take all that data and we look at this property owner, John Smith at 1000 Main Street, and then we assess how good a quality lead is this. Does he have a need? How old is his air conditioner? How old is his house? Does he have equity? When's the last time he did installs? Keeping up with the neighborhood? Is everybody else in the neighborhood replacing their air conditioner, and he's still got a 24-year-old air conditioner? And we give you just a simple little report. We attach every lead that comes into your company, and you can use that to decide whether you're going to run a deal, or whether you're going to send your best salesperson or your worst salesperson, or whether it's a 5-year-old air conditioner. Maybe you're just going to send out a service tech.
That's valuable information to have. So the more information somebody has to go out, and I mean, there's people in the industry, and I'm included, that none of us like the sales tech or the person trying to sell equipment that's unneeded. Or we want to go into homes as technicians, and we want to find legit problems. And there's so many legit problems that can be found on an existing HVAC system, with duct sizing, airflow, filtration, indoor air quality, things like humidity and dehumidification and stuff like that. There's so many different things that we can find as a good service technician coming into a home. So if there's permits pulled on that stuff, we can essentially see, okay, what they've got installed already, and maybe what we can do to rectify it once we get in that home. We can start asking the right questions, like, do you have humidity issues? I see that your neighborhood may have all 2 tons, but for some reason you have a 3 ton in your house. I'm wondering why that is. Do you have humidity issues? Is it short cycling? Stuff like that. We can get these questions on hand before, just by analyzing and going through that data you guys are giving us, to try to make an ethical decision on how to sell the right sort of things, if it's in indoor air quality or if it's different equipment, stuff like that, to do it in an ethical way. And I preach everybody to do it in an ethical way. One of the things that I think is super cool is, okay, listen, customers can review us all they want. They can go on all the review sites there are, and they can start saying contractor XYZ is terrible. Never invite them over to your home because they're going to try to screw you. Or contractor XYZ was amazing. The guy they sent was great. He had it diagnosed in half an hour. It wasn't very expensive to fix, stuff like that. We have a way now through your website to review customers. So contractors can review customers, which is amazing. So explain how that works, if you don't mind, Nick.
You bet. Well, just like you said, we've all been in the contracting space, and we've all had customers that we do a great job for, and they don't pay us, or we don't like them, or we have had great customers. Well, now you can share that experience, just kind of like Uber. Kind of like an Uber driver can rate their customer for the next Uber driver. Well, you can rate your customer, and the next contractor can, when they get a lead that comes in, can see what other contractors have said about them. If John Smith from 1000 Main Street shows up in your Max Qualifier, well, one of the things besides, whether he needs a new air conditioner or not, one of the things it tells you is what other contractors on the platform have rated him. Have they rated him as a good guy? Have they rated him as a bad payer? As they rated him, by all means, stay away from this guy. So you see ratings and reviews on customers now, and then you also gives you the chance to, you do that same thing for other contractors. You provide those ratings and reviews, and it kind of makes you feel better. And it's mainly for other contractors to see. We're not posting it publicly on property.com for the customers to see your ratings quite yet. We'll decide, we'll decide what we want to do with that. But for now, it's for other contractors, for you to create the rating and for other contractors to see.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, if a customer has a 1-star review over a couple of different contractors and it's all negativity, like they don't want to pay, they don't pay on time, they agreed to X price and they're trying to cut a deal while the job is being sort of ongoing. Like it's customers like that that everybody kind of wants to stay away from because they just become complete headaches. And I mean, if a customer has a great review, yeah, they invited us in, offered us a sandwich, a cup of coffee, right? They paid on time. They didn't haggle. They didn't negotiate. They were super happy with work. They're inviting us back again to do the maintenance and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that contractors want to see. So it's fantastic that you're providing that service.
Gary, I'd like to add one thing to it. When I had a $1 billion financing company in this space, the Hero program in Renovate America. One of the things we ran is because we were always doing contractor compliances stuff, we realized that there's a lot of bad property owners out there. They have these games and we ran statistics on it. We found that certain homeowners that would be a problem payer for a contractor, they would repeat that offense. They would use the same kind of excuses. The contractor didn't do a good job, and they play these games. They report them to the state license bureau and stuff. And it's total an extortion game. And they would do this over and over and over again to the contractors. And contractors didn't realize that. They would get this customer, and they couldn't understand what they were doing. Well, it's a game that they play, and it's a routine. And these people need to be exposed. It's serious, and more people learning how to take advantage of a contractor. There's stuff all over Reddit. There's stuff all over the web. Or how do you get a free air conditioner? You can figure that out. It's awful. So we need to know who's doing that to us, and that's what that's what this is for.
And I have a few stories myself like that. I've gone to over the last year to year and a half. I've gone to some buildings where I'll come in and I always ask the question. I'll be like, so who was servicing your stuff before? Right? I always ask that question because I want to know why all of a sudden I'm being called in. Is it because they weren't doing a good job? Is it because they went out of business? Is it because their preferred technician that came is no longer with that company? There could be many, many reasons, but there's a couple of times where I've gone to sites and I've just been like, seems really odd that this is like the 4th contractor they've used in 5 years. Why is that? And you never really get a straight answer. And it would be nice to talk to the 4 previous contractors that went in there to see exactly what they did. And it's like, okay, they use one contractor for this, get me by. Contractor might get sort of weary or become aware of what they're up to. Like they just want a Band-Aid on a system or something like. So they'll call another one and it'll come in, oh, can you just get that going for me? And I promise we'll replace it in a month or two with you. And then they Band-Aid it and then you never hear from them again. Then they go to contractor number 3. And this happens all the time. This happens a lot. So these reviews are they're not going to stop that dead. I mean, people are people and they have ways set and how they're going to do things, but it'll at least put the contractor aware of where not to go and who not to work for. So great tool, Nick. I really like that. As far as the landscape or I guess geographical positioning of property.com, like what are we looking at here? We're looking at just the US for now, correct?
Yeah, just US. And we have, without going through all the different products in our stack, unless you wanted to talk through those, we can service the whole country of the US. Some products are not available in some states. We don't have all the data that I referred to early on in every state. It's heavy in Florida, Texas, and California, and we're rapidly expanding to Arizona, Colorado, and the western states, and then some of the other eastern states with the deep data. But there's value across the whole United States right now for contractors. You can provide your website. If you pass your vetting, you'll get your website, and you'll get your endorsement, and then you'll get other tools for kind of using your data to generate traffic and convert traffic and send them over to you to set appointments. So we can do that across the whole country. We just won't be able to necessarily give you all that good know before you go analysis through Max Qualifier in every state.
In every state right now, but that is something that you're working on completing for.
We bring up 3 or 4 states every couple months.